Hello, my Fire Ray friends. Welcome once again to another Fire Ray Fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it and show you what exactly we're playing with today. So, hopefully, again, you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Whoop, let's see where we at right here. There we are. Awesome. Nice. Okay, so what exactly are we going to be playing today, you may be wondering? Well, I'm glad you asked. So the deck today is going to be something that I, of course, am very, very fond of, which is going to be, of course, a burn deck. But we actually have not played a pure burn deck, at least in the Brawl format. So thanks to, again, the return of extra cards from Pioneer Masters, we're going to be bringing in Purphoros here, God of the Forge, with a deck that I'm simply calling God of Burn. So that's basically the idea today, everybody. We're going to try to put out as many creatures as we can, just keep pinging down our opponent with Purphoros on the field, and eventually we'll just be able to burn him out with what we got in order to get to our victory. So that is the whole game plan for you today, everybody. Otherwise, aside from that, how is everybody doing today? Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So this is, again, how the breakdown is going to be for it. If you have not seen any of these videos before, any of my streams or whatnot, mostly it's just going to be, first off, we're going to be doing, of course, a quick little breakdown of the whole deck and what we're trying to do here. We'll then try to play as many matches as we can over the next couple of hours. Dan Splendid, welcome again, my fire friend. Glad to see you again joining us for another fun day. As I was just mentioning right now, we're just, of course, going over the breakdown of the deck, and then we're just going to try to jump into as many games as possible over, again, the next couple hours. Once we're done, we'll do a quick little wrap-up of, again, how the deck did, good, bad, what we would change about it, and as always, if you do stick around to the very end, you'll get a nice quick little preview of what's to come over the next couple of YouTube videos down the line. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead, let's break down, of course, starting with the stats of the deck, because again, longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So, our burn deck today, oh, Neo Worm, thanks again for joining us. Welcome, my fiery friend. Glad you're here with us today. We're going to be going over the stats right now real quick. So, this is obviously a mono red deck, and then we're looking at an average mana curve of about 2.9. We're looking at, 30 creatures in the deck, but again, we want to be creature heavy because of our commander. We're going to be looking at 6 instants, 8 sorceries, 11 artifacts, 8 enchantments, 2 planeswalkers, and 36 lands. Oh, and of course, 1 battle. Granted, we actually have a couple more extra lands because we do have some modal cards, although I realize there's probably one minor tweak I have to do. Actually, I realize now, hold on 1 second. I do want to check how many. Okay, so we do have a hefty amount of goblins, but actually there is 1 goblin I was going to change out right here. So I think this one we probably don't need as much because we're not super goblin heavy. So I'm probably going to swap in 1 other spell for that one. Exactly. We'll figure out what we want to put in just a second here. I will make that adjustment, of course, before we are done. All right. So anyways, let's kind of go over what exactly the game plan is going to be. So, if you have not played with Purphoros before, Purphoros, of course, is going to be God of the Forge here. It's a 4-mana, 6/5 God. It's a legendary enchantment creature, and it also has Indestructible, which is pretty sweet for us. So it says, as long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Purphoros is not a creature. Whenever another creature you control enters, Purphoros will deal 2 damage to each opponent, and for 3 mana, creatures we control get a pump of +1/+0 until end of turn. So, I'll be honest, I've actually never really used a secondary ability of Purphoros on here. It's a cool thing, but realistically, all we want him to do is just sit on the battlefield and just keep pinging and pinging until our opponent has had enough. That's the whole idea with him. Turning him into a 6/5 is actually pretty nice when we're able to, and Indestructible makes him very hard for our opponents to deal with, depending on what deck we get thrown at. But that's the whole game plan, and we're just going to spam the board with as many utility creatures as much as possible and as many tokens as we can. So start with the 1-drops. Clockwork Percussionist, this little monkey toy, has haste, just does some damage. If it dies, we basically get to replace itself by exiling the top card of our library. Pretty awesome for us for the deck and really good for early game. And the Festivities is a low-level kind of pseudo-wrath for us. I know it only does 1 point of damage, but once we have a couple of other key cards on the battlefield, this card is actually going to be a one-sided wrath. It gets so delicious when we do. With that, we're also going to be utilizing Experimental Synthesizer here. So with this, it enters. Again, same thing. It's just pseudo-card advantage for us. We just, of course, are just going to try to exile stuff. If we need to make a Samurai token, that works too. We can also sacrifice it later on for value, depending on what our opponent throws at us. Fanatical Firebrand here, another little goblin pirate. It'll deal 1 damage if we just ping with our opponent, but in the early game, it's easy damage to any of our opponent's stuff. Gleeful Demolition is actually one of our key pieces here. It's actually so much good value from this. Say like we hit, of course, our experimental synthesizer, we then create a bunch of tokens. If we don't need it, or we can just blow up maybe an enemy artifact, that works too. So either way, it's just a win-win no matter what we do with it. Goblin Bushwhacker here is a Goblin Warrior. Thanks again to one of the special guest sets that we got from Foundations. This is now finally in the game, and oh man, it's such a delicious way to end the game. Hit it for the kicker ability of 2 mana, and then it gives all of our creatures a pump of +1, +0, and haste. So it's a nice way to finish off an opponent. Goldhound here is a treasure dog. It is an artifact, so we can utilize it if we need to as a treasure token for extra value, or again, just does some early game damage for us with First Strike and Menace. Godotha Reaper, similar to Gleeful Demolition, same thing. We have to sacrifice an artifact, but we make a ton of tokens, which can, of course, ping off a ton with Purphoros on the field. Ragavan, I know. It's a very, very annoying little monkey, but in our deck, we of course want to make as much mischief as possible. So we have to put in Ragavan here for, the pure value this card has. It's so good for us. Reckless Lackey, another Goblin Pirate for us, First Strike and Haste, and also if we sacrifice it later on to draw a card and make a treasure token just for extra value. Spikefield Hazard, one of our modal lands. It's a tap land in a pinch, does 1 extra point of damage if we need to exile something, maybe if we don't want to deal with it. Strike it rich again for more ramp, because again, it helps us make treasure tokens. In the 2-drop slot here, Cathartic Pirate either can be spot removal, or you can then utilize it just to loot and to dig out more cards. Dousing Device here, when it enters and then we have more artifacts on the field, we can then, of course, give our creatures a little bit of pump. Excuse me for a second, everybody. Excuse me. Okay. And then we can flip it into a land if we need to, and then maybe we can give our creatures a little bit of extra pump, but mostly we're just using it for its utility purposes. Dragon Farter, one of our many sorcery spells in the deck that just helps us make more tokens. Goblin Bombardment, oh man, this card is so delicious once we have a couple of other cards on the field. We can then start sacrificing the rest of our board to slowly but surely just ping our opponent out. Goblin Instigator here, it enters and creates another Goblin token for us. Impact Tremors also stacks with Purphoros here to do some extra damage whenever creatures enter. We could just ping them for 1. Kranko's Command, another sorcery that just helps us make more Goblin tokens. Roiling Vortex here is great for us to do incremental pings to our opponent here, and also it punishes our opponent if they try to get cheeky and try to cast things for free. Seer Slicer Goblin is going to be helpful as we just keep attacking recklessly, because we'll create more Goblin tokens that we can utilize. Flame of Keld here is a pseudo type of way to finish off an opponent. It takes a couple of turns how we're to do it. If we dump our hand, this is great for us to then refuel, and of course the final part of it allows us to just do some extra damage to our opponents. Wily Goblin enters, makes a treasure token for ramp. Collector's Vault helps us again dig through our deck, loot, and then create more treasure tokens that we need to for more pseudo ramp. Mindstone here also, one of our mana rocks, helps us again do some stuff. It can help us also draw a card in a pinch later in the game. Ruby Medallion, oh man, such a great card for us. I'm so glad we got this for Modern Horizons 3. Makes all of our red spells 1 less to cast, so it's cheap. Brass's Tunnel Grinder here is going to be allowing us to, again, just discard our hand, redraw what we need to. If we do manage to hit the ability to put board counters on it, we can then flip it into another land. Flick a Coin here, same thing, does some damage, makes a treasure for us, helps us draw a card. General Create, the Bolt Bringer here, oh man, another awesome card for us, and also will help us just ping off our opponent here. Oh, Mayor Peoples, I was just watching one of your videos, then realized you were live. This is my first time watching you live. Oh, well, thanks again for joining us, my fiery friend. Glad again you can join us today for everything. Yeah, right now we're just working on just explaining the whole deck real quick, and then we're going to play as many matches as possible with this deck today. So anyway, going back to it, General Cret, the Bolt Bringer here, 3 mana Goblin Soldier here. It's a legendary, and every time another creature enters, we get to ping our opponent for 1. Also, excuse me, whenever 1 or more goblins we control does attack, we can create a tapped goblin creature token that's attacking as well, so it's going to be great for us to just keep putting out our whole game plan. Invasion of Rengatha here is our only battle in the deck. It will do some damage to our opponent's face, but also we can ping 1 creature. If we manage to flip it, it also will be on flavor for us, because once it becomes a human monk as Disciples of the Inferno, it has prowess, so that means we can then do some extra damage to our opponents. Dense Planet, Infernoman. You are missing 1 card. Oh, yes. I took out 1 card because we're not running as many goblins. I'm mostly focusing on trying to get as many goblin tokens out there. So don't worry, I will be able to add that card in just a second. Thanks for reminding me, though. And then continuing on here, we have Legion Warboss here. Same thing. It makes more goblin tokens for us. Then we can just keep adding on to the game plan here, keep pinging our opponent down. Molten Gatekeeper here, another one of our cards that will help us, of course, do our whole pinging game plan, because every time another creature enters, the Gatekeeper will deal 1 damage to each opponent. Pashalik Mons here. Although, again, we are not all in on the Goblin plan, we do make enough tokens where this is justified. So Pashalik Mons here, 3 mana, Legendary Goblin Warrior. Anytime another Goblin dies, we'll deal 1 damage to any creature. We can also sacrifice those extra Goblin tokens to create more Goblin tokens, so it's great for us to then just sink some mana. Reckless Bushwhacker here, similar to our Goblin Bushwhacker. Of course, it has a surge cost. If it enters and we pay the surge cost, it gives all of our creatures +1/+0 and haste until end of turn, so great as another pseudo finisher. Redcap Deep, another Goblin Rogue. It enters, creates another treasure for us. Seize the Spoils is going to be one of our pseudo loot cards. Discard a card, draw 2 cards, make a token. Squeak, Dubious Monarch, same thing. Just like our other cards here, we just want to make Goblin tokens as much as possible and be reckless with them. Witty Roastmaster, here's the Devil Citizen. It has the Alliance ability, so every time another creature enters, we can ping our opponent for 1, which is great. You see a pair of goblins here. Also another great token generator for us. Makes goblin tokens, or we can utilize it and just burn out the... Well, actually, not burn out the opponent, but I mean, give our whole team pump, so then we can just finish off our opponents. Mechanized Warfare is another one of our sources here that can do some extra damage whenever we have another red or artifact source we control deal some damage. It adds another +1 to that, which is sweet for us. Goblin Chain Whirler, another low level but pseudo wrath for us, where we can just hit our opponent for 1 point of damage to each of their creatures and planeswalkers as it enters. Mog Mob here is going to be great as another card that we can utilize just to then pseudo just do some extra mini wrathing with its ability once we sacrifice it at instant speed. Heraldic Banner here, we have enough creatures in the deck where this is actually justified as our ideal mana rock. It enters, and then we just choose red, so that means all of our creatures will get another bit of +1/+1 pump. In the 4-drop slot here, we'll have Big Score, where we can, again, same thing, just discard some cards, draw some stuff, make some treasure tokens. Fanatic of Mogwis here. Oh man, this is actually a really awesome card for us. A Minotaur Shaman that when it enters, it'll deal damage to each opponent equal to our devotion to red, so this can be a really great way to finish off our opponent with a huge amount of burn. Beetleback Chief, when it enters, creates more goblin tokens for us. Chandra, Torch of Defiance here, another awesome planeswalker for us where we can do some pseudo ramping with us. We can exile cards to do some more burn damage. It basically can just help us with everything. Krenko Mob Boss here, as we tap it, of course, this is a classic goblin for us where we keep tapping, create a bunch of tokens for us. Sometimes this can also be a great finisher for our whole deck and our whole game plan here. Ogre Battle Driver. Now, this is actually kind of hilarious. Like, this card actually is just a default free card you get in when you just play Arena. But, of course, it works great for us because we'll be making a ton of tokens. So, this will give them all pump and haste. So, that's going to be a great way to be super aggro with the deck. Ogier Axonil Deepest Might here is one of our legendary gods. It, of course, will kind of help do... continue on with the whole game plan of just burning out our opponents. However, if it does die, we can also then flip it into another land, which we could use, or we can transform it back later on if we want to flip it back into the god ability. Sophra Mayhem Dominus here is another one of our legendary creatures. It's a Phyrexian Horror. Same thing, it just helps stacks up more damage with the whole game plan we do. It'll deal double damage, but it kind of stacks in an kind of awkward way. But I'll explain how the math works on that a little bit later on, although I'm not very good at the math. Neoworm Mayor, it really depends on what type of game style you like to play. There are combo decks, Mill, Stompy, and everything like that. Oh, yes. I'm new to Magic. What decks do you recommend? Oh, that's right. I didn't read that one. What decks do you recommend? I know how to play. I just want a really good deck. Oh, well, kind of like, yeah, what Neoworm was saying, Mayor Peoples. It kind of, again, just depends. I mean, you tell me, what do you enjoy playing? Are you more of like a big creature player? Do you like playing combo decks out there? Are you kind of like how I am? I'm mostly an aggro and burn player, but I play a little bit of everything. So yeah, think about it for a bit and let us know what you are interested in. There's definitely a lot of resources, and I'm sure there's a lot of people here who will support you on whatever you do want to play. But okay, let me try to wrap this up real quick, everybody. Let's see. Okay, so we're at Unexpected Windfall. Just the same thing like Big Score here. Just helps us discard a card, draw some cards, make some treasure tokens. Torbrand here is also one of my absolute favorite cards here because it'll add some more burn damage for us. And it doesn't matter if we are doing it with the ETB trigger that Purphoros has. It doesn't matter if we're just doing damage. It'll just stack up more damage for our whole game plan. We'll use Hedron Archive here as another artifact that's also a mana rock for us. If we don't need it later on, we can sacrifice it just to draw some more cards. Jaya Venerated Fire Mage here, another one of those uncommon planeswalkers from War of the Spark that doesn't do too much, but it's actually great for us to stack our abilities. Goldspan Dragon here is going to take advantage of those treasures for us so that we can do some crazy good ramping here. It has flying, it has haste, it's really good for the deck, and it also gives us a flyer, so one of our few evasive creatures we definitely could use in the deck. Pinnacle Monk can either be utilized as a land, or we can use it with its prowess ability. When it enters, we can bring back one of our instant or sorcery cards back to then reuse. Twin Flame Tyrant here from Foundations. If a source we control will deal to an opponent or opponent they control damage, it'll double that damage, which is actually really good for us. Virtue of Courage is going to be also great as a pseudo burn ability, but its enchantment side allows us to then just exile more cards that we deal non-combat damage to an opponent, so it can help us churn through our deck. And then finally wrapping it up here, in case we do need it, we have Insult and Injury. So Insult here, just make sure that damage cannot be prevented, because there are some very annoying cards out there that stop our whole game plan. So this, of course, will then turn that back on and just help us take out our opponent. The Injury side is an Aftermath where we can only cast it from the graveyard, but sometimes that comes helpful every so often in the game. And then finally, our room enchantment here, Glassworks and Scattered Yard. So the Glassworks side is a 3-mana enchantment that says when we unlock it, we'll deal 4 damage to a creature an opponent controls, or ideally, we want the other side. The 5-mana side allows us to then just ping our opponent for 1 point of damage at the end of each of our end steps. All right, we're almost done here, everybody. Arena Glory here. So this is one of our many lands, so of course just helps us exert. This is again just to do some hyper aggro against our opponent. Castle Embereth, if we just want to again be aggro, just pump up our whole team. Den of the Bugbear, also same thing with the whole game plan. It just helps us generate more goblin tokens that we can utilize, of course, to do some more pinging. 26 mountains. Sokazin, Crucible Defiance here. We can make some more tokens with this if we need to, or it can just be a regular land. Heir to Archway can bounce back one of maybe our modal lands to then reutilize as a land or a spell. Demolition Field for land hate. Fountain Port here to create more tokens for us. Gyre Reach Sanitarium, also again for more card looting, drawing, and discarding. Scavenger Grounds is going to be one of our key pieces here to do some graveyard hate if we need to in a pinch. And then Urza's Cave, if we need to dig out any one of those lands, if we need to then pull it out, if we need a specific answer against our opponent. But otherwise, okay, before we wrap that up, you were right earlier, Den Splendid, I need to figure out one more card to add to the whole deck. And I think maybe we'll put in maybe another small Wrath against our opponent. That probably might be the best option, just in case. So with that, let's see here. Let's see. I know Blazing Volley. Oh, wait, there was one from Ixalan that I wanted to use. It's a sorcery. I remember that. That's what I remember. Okay. And then let's see. Where was it at? I know it's here somewhere. Or actually, we could use Satyr's Cunning too. Let's see. Because, yeah, there is one on here that we wanted to use. And then I'm trying to find it right now real quick for you. Let's see. Hold on. I can find it. Okay, hold on. Oh, there it is. Tectonic Hazard. That was the other one. So it's going to be another small level Wrath for us that we can get pumped with it. Okay, so I think that should be basically it for you guys. So that's the whole game plan for you in a nutshell. Densman, and here's me. You know how me too well informed. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, I know your gameplay style. At some point, I do remember I'm gonna try to make that 5-color room deck at some point. So yeah, we'll have to get to that at some point down the line. But okay, now that we have that all out of the way, thanks again for hanging in there, everybody. Now let's go ahead. Let's just jump into as many Brawl matches as possible to see how well this deck does. If you do like the deck, I will of course put at the very end of the video a link, so you all can then copy and paste it if you want to, maybe make your own personal modifications, and then you can enjoy it later on. For those of you that did not catch any of this earlier on, don't worry. The replay, of course, will be up on YouTube later today, so do not worry. We'll definitely have that all ready for you guys. And for those of you that are watching from other locations, I appreciate all your support. And if you do want to support me, all you have to do is, again, just like, follow, subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs we do, and so much more. I'm going to try to plan out a couple more unique and different types of videos down the line in the future. Maybe some more unique opinion pieces that I've been wanting to do for a while. Some interesting cards that have been popping up, talking about, again, the state of the game, talking about, again, power level, and how the fact that we've been getting a lot more, much more stronger cards, even in the common and uncommon slots. We'll talk about, again, specific cards that I absolutely love and why they're so amazing. Things like that down the line. But okay, let's go ahead and see what we got today. So let's see, we got 3 mountains already. Invasion Rengotha, Redcap Thief. Okay, I think this should be okay. This should help us get to what we need. And then, okay, and I also see on here from over on Kick. I mean, I do apologize because Kick, for some reason, just doesn't show up on this feed, but I'll try to see if I can bring it up here. So from Kick, I see right here also we have another person that's trying to chat with us. Let's see. Cyfox9, hey streamer, I appreciate the effort you put into your channel. I noticed your stream, great potential for growth. Oh, okay, it looks like it just seems like it's just another little spam thing there. Never mind on that one. We'll ignore that for a bit. Okay, so put down Tectonic Hazard. Actually, Dragon Fodder. Make some tokens. Okay. Show me what you got, opponent. They're playing... Okay, what are they playing? Falcon Scout. I haven't seen anybody play this commander, so I'm a little... Okay, so they're going to try to make some giant creatures. So I guess that's their game plan here. Let us see if we can get around that. So with that, let us play the mountain. And then we'll play Invasion of Rengatha. We won't be able to hit any creature, but it's fine. We'll just hit him for 4. We hit the invasion. Infernoman, I made your gate deck. Oh, great. Let me know how that turns out for you. I mean, there might be some tweaks even after I finish it where I kind of feel like, maybe I should have done something else with it. But I'm glad that you made it. Let me know how it works out for you, though. We'll put down Den of the Bugbear. We'll put down Dowsing Device. Mayor Peoples. I like playing Standard. Neo Worm, it's super fun and I win a lot. Well, I like playing 60 cards. Okay. All right, there we go. We flipped the invasion. All right, there we go. Looking pretty good here. And then we'll pass. Okay, opponent. What do you got? Uro. Ooh. Well, that kind of sets us back a bit of a turn, but that's okay. Obviously, a card like that is going to be kind of tough for us to deal with, but we do have options. So, Purphoros coming down. Opponent. Mana Drain. Jeez. Alright, fine. I guess we don't get to have that go off, but that's okay. Down to 17. We still can put a bit of pressure on our opponent, though. Alright, so they get to Mana Drain a ton. So hopefully this will not be something that's going to hurt us. Okay, All-Seeing Arbiter. They will do some card attack. What is it? Discarded and looting. Alright. See what they do. Okay, they -2 one of our tokens. That's okay, though. That's fine. RG Foos, I see you also from Kick, so thanks again for joining us. Sorry again, I can't see your thing over on the chat here. At some point we'll try to get that working where I can get the Kick comments added to the main video, but I appreciate you still being there. Okay, so let's see, how do we do this here? Let's see. I think Twin Flame Tyrant should come in. No attacks yet. We'll reset everything. Okay, so hopefully this should now be enough where we can stop our opponent here. They have Gilded Lotus. Yeah, I don't like Mana Drain, but it is what it is. We'll find a way to get around it. We can get around it. Okay, our Seeing Arbiter does more of its card draw and discard. Still annoying, by the way. All right. They swing. Down to 20, though, so we still got plenty of time. Okay. This should, I think, in theory, work here. So, here's how we do this. We'll play on the Glasswork side. Prowess. We take out an Arbiter. Oh, that does 10. Oh, that was nice. That was beautiful. Okay, so, end the festivities. This should be good here. Burn out the table. All right, we got this, everybody. I think this is victory for us. Very nice. All right, burned them out real quick, everybody. Nice. Victory, victory, victory. First one for today, everybody. Wow. The burn damage stacked up so quick there. I actually kind of underestimated how much damage we did there. So, nice. Very nice. Great way to get that first win for the day. Let's go ahead, let's continue and have the good times roll. Man, your standard is really good right now. White aggro tokens and Dimir are fun. Boros tokens is good too. Yeah. I will definitely say, now that I've kind of played a little bit of Standard, Standard is in a much better spot now, especially with Foundations. Foundations should provide for us a lot of variety for quite some time. So I'll definitely start trying to do a little bit more Standard. Maybe I'll do a couple of Standard deck techs in a little bit, at least maybe once we get to Ether Drift. I'm actually really excited for that one. Dense Planet. I'm trying to make some new Brawl decks. Trying out Honest Rustine. Seems solid even for an uncommon rarity. Honest Rustine does have a lot of good value to him. I haven't had a chance to play him, but definitely when you build him great, it's actually a pretty awesome card. Neorm. Expert Pixies is the big thing right now. Oh yeah. Yeah, fairies are and pixies are a big thing right now in the game. I haven't had a chance to play against it, but Does look like a pretty annoying deck, but it's actually pretty hard to pilot too, so it's something that I do have on my radar. Okay, so with what we got right now, we have a mountain, and then we'll start making all of our tokens in a bit. We have quite a few pingers, which is sweet for us. What is our opponent playing? Oh, they're playing Castrol here. We played Castrol on stream a couple of weeks ago. Not the most popular commander, but it's actually a pretty cool one if you like flying birds. All right, Dragon Fodder. Opponent. Okay, Memory Lapse. That's annoying. That's fine. I would rather they Memory Lapse now versus Oracle the Alpha. Oh, come on. They're actually playing that Alchemy card? That's totally not a busted card. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll make a way around it, everybody. In the meantime, put down the General. So she will start building up a bunch of tokens for us. Okay, opponent, show me what you got. Anytime now, opponent. Dense Planet. Far from optimized less, but I have beaten Alchemy Abuser with Honest Rusty. Well, that's cool. Say no to Alchemy, everybody. Okay, so with that, let's play... Let's see if we can get down Witty Rosemaster. Will our opponent allow us to have this? No, they won't. Come on! It's fine. It's fine, everybody. Okay, no attacks yet. That's okay. We still have a pinger on the field. I just want them to swing for a second here, and then hopefully we can go from there. Okay? So they're going to try to start scrying to hopefully find their broken cards, because it was totally a good idea for Wizards to make a creature that allows you to make the power 9. Disgusting, by the way. Mountain. We'll put down Purphoros now. No attacks yet. Okay, so with that, so we should now be able to start going off of here very quickly if our opponent does not have a real answer. Oracle the Alpha allows themselves to scry again. Dense Planet. You know what? If you have enough time, how about we duel against each other? We'll see if we can. I guess it'll depend also on how today goes with things. But again, I always appreciate that. I know you're always eager to play. Neoworm. Yeah, it's harder to pilot, but fun. It is rough to play against if they have Hopeless Nightmare and nowhere to run and can bounce them. I actually have really not thought about how powerful that is. The fact that that Pixie can keep bouncing those cheap little enchantments for more and more value, it gets very annoying from what I've seen gameplay-wise, but it's definitely, again, a very satisfying deck if you know how to pilot it well. But it definitely is a challenging one, so I will definitely agree with that. Okay, so, how do we do this here? I want to put down... Oh, let's put down Hedron Archive. Will you let me have this, opponent? Counterspell. Okay. Alright. It's going to be one of these matches. That's fine. I don't know if our opponent's going to have, though, something coming in. I worry. So I'm not going to attack. I know our opponent has something to flash in. You know they do. I wish they made a format like Historic or Timeless, but didn't have Alchemy cards. Yeah, I know that's always been one of those things that I would like to do. I probably would play even more Timeless if they just didn't have the Alchemy cards in there. Most of the Alchemy cards are not powerful enough to actually be viable in Timeless, thanks to things like fetch lands, but they do creep up once in a while, and that kind of makes me disappointed. Same thing. I mean, ever since we got Timeless, I kind of abandoned Historic because that's just riddled with all the Alchemy cards, and it's just not my cup of tea. Yeah, they have Oracle, so they're just going to keep getting value and value, and it's absolutely disgusting. Okay. Oh. Okay. Alright, opponents. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to win this one because our opponent's going to get a more and more dumb value from these cards, but it's okay. It's fine. We will try, everybody. We'll try. Torbrand. Please resolve? It's not going to resolve, is it? Maybe? 3 cards in hand, opponent. What do you got? Anytime now, opponent. Sublime Epiphany. Ouch. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I think this one's a wash. Let's just do some burn damage here, just out of spite, but we're going to concede that one. Yeah. Our opponent had the right alchemy cards, and man, that hurt pretty bad there, so dang. Okay, it's fine. We'll just move on, everybody. We'll just move on. Okay. Moving on to the next one, shaking that loss off. Don't worry. We got one win already today. And I am feeling another one's coming on. Okay. Can we get a victory again with our burn decks? So, the good news is we have Roiling Vortex already, so we can shut down if they have any life gain. So that's actually pretty good for us. Because Amalia here does want to get life, and that's going to be very annoying if we don't deal with that quick. Yeah, the perpetual effects are they're just not balanced well. They're not balanced for 60 card especially. And it's only just because it's just beyond frustrating because, you know, you build your deck in a certain way. And some of those effects are very, very annoying to deal with. I think also I probably wouldn't hate alchemy cards as much because if only Wizards actually took the time, what they claimed at the beginning of it was, they told me, oh yeah, sure, we'll totally keep them balanced as time is going on. When was the last time they balanced alchemy cards? Seriously. Does anybody remember when was the last time they actually balanced an alchemy card? You probably don't. I definitely don't. Alright. Heraldic Banner. Let's just get our ramp on, everybody. Okay, red. And we'll pass. Ping our opponents. So the good news is, at least if they start trying to gain life, we do have options to get around stuff. Right. Campbell. So we need to make sure that we keep that life gain in check as much as possible. There they swing. Down to 22. Okay, we get pinged, of course, for our own card, right? Mountain. Okay, so with that, let us play Purphoros now. And we will pass. Okay, so we have our game plan set to go. All we just need to do now is just start putting down our creatures for value, and we should be fine. Ogre Battle Driver is actually pretty nice. If we can get this down with the Tyrants, that should be game over for our opponents. Oh, yeah. I played against that Grenzo. It is such a frustrating card to deal with. Absolutely disgusting, by the way. Okay, so Amalia coming in. So, at some point here, we're going to start preparing to deal with tokens. Anything else, opponent? Nothing? Alright, we go. Ping our opponents. Actually, ping ourselves first. Okay. Mountain. Okay, so I think we'll put in the Ogre. And that should start the pinging now. Ping our opponent for 2. Maybe. Opponents. Okay, down to 20. Okay, so they ping themselves. We need to keep the mana open in case they start gaining life, because we need to slow that down quick. Okay. Ash of the Abhorrent. We don't really care about anything in the graveyard if it dies, so we'll just... Hopefully that won't be something we worry about too much. Alright. Turn off the life gain. Because we need to make sure our opponent does not gain life. Phew. Okay. We're in the clear for now. Sorry, opponent. You get no life gain off of us. Alright, we will ping ourselves again. But this is fine. Okay, Demolition Field's not too shabby for later. Okay, so, let's see. Cathartic Pyre. I want to keep off the field Amalia. So we will take 3. But I have to keep her off. And we will turn off the life gain as well. Opponent. Nope. No life gain for you. I'm sorry. We have to keep that off as much as possible. Phew. Okay. Wow. That did take a lot more mana than I was expecting, but it is what it is. Goblin Bushwhacker. Let's see. Do that. Okay. Not too bad, right? Swing of Purphoros. Get some free damage in. Crab Abomination's honestly what the so-called heist should have been. Yeah, I will agree with that. I definitely agree. Okay, down to 10. All right, we're looking pretty good here, everybody. Pinging our opponent down to 9. Man, see, having that Roiling Vortex saved us from possibly getting blown out here by Amalia and that ability. So I'm really glad we put that into the deck. Neoworm, I made a deck around Fear of Change, and it's broken, but super random. All right, there we go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough. All right, victory once again for us. Very nice. Okay. Looking good so far. Looking good. Which one was Fear of Change again? I forgot how that one is. Is that one... Was that one a white card, or is it a blue card? I totally forgot. I need to remember... It's kind of hard for me to remember some of these cards. Especially because I think only the... What's it? The Fear of Missing Out was the main nightmare card that people have been playing right now in Standard? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Alright, so... Show us what you got, opponent. They're playing Urbrask here. Okay, so this looks like they might be trying to do a combo burn deck. We'll see how that goes against us. Alright, Mountain and Mountain. Nothing yet. Okay, we got a Fountain Port. So we'll play... Okay, I guess we'll play right now the Goblin Instigator. Make a token. So I'm guessing our opponent's going to try to then chain off a bunch of cheap spells. We'll see how this goes. Reinforce Ronin. Please channel it. Kadotha Rebirth might be helpful for later. Okay. Bounce back the Mountain. Swing. Down to 23. Okay, so... Artist Talent. Okay. I'll turn through the deck pretty quick with that card. But we'll see. We shall see if we can get around it. Purphoros. Coming down now. And thankfully, because our opponent is playing red also, they have no answer against enchantments, which will be great for us. Down to 21. Okay, opponent. Bring it on. Bring it on. Den Split. We need a petition to delete Alchemy from Arena. Your thoughts? Until... Okay, I'm going to be honest. Like, I would love to get rid of Arena's Alchemy shenanigans. I would love to see one day where they finally just say, hey, you know what? We made a mistake. We're going to get rid of all the Alchemy cards and give everybody back their rare wild cards for those Alchemy cards. But let's be real. It's not going to happen. I don't know why they keep experimenting with them. It doesn't really feel like it does anything to help the game. But for some reason, they just want to keep it going. So I don't know if and when they will try to get rid of Alchemy in any way, shape, or form. I would love to see them get rid of it. But I don't think they will. They don't want to admit their mistake. But we can hope, though. We can hope. We pinged our opponent for 1. Down to 16. So far, so good, right? Although we are awkwardly missing more mountains, we would definitely use those. But we'll see. All right, opponent. Smelt. Wow, they actually used it on the Clockwork Percussionist? Okay. Okay. Can they chain off a bunch of spells? I think this is now where they're going to see if they can do this. Okay. Opponents. Feverin Strike. Okay. Well, they are going off here. But is it going to be enough? Because now we need to be quick. So our opponent is going to close this out very quickly at this per 8. Okay. Bit of a danger zone here because they're now going to flip. So that means they wrath our creatures, which is not a big thing for us. We don't need the creatures deliberately to just beat our opponent here. We just need to then just try to just hit them with stuff. We can make a fish token, and it does burn out our opponents. So it still helps a little bit. Let's see. Fanatical Firebrand.
Pinging our opponent for 2. Down to 10. Okay, so we are still in a critical spot here. They'll make some treasures. Now they have tons of mana. Can they burn us out here? Wow, Chaos Warp. I totally forgot that was a thing in here. Okay. Well, let's see where this goes. Let's see. Put it into library. Let's see what we get. Goblin Bombardment. Okay. Well, that's not too bad, right? Okay, level 3. So that means... Okay, so they can start pinging a punch here. I forgot that Artist Talent actually could help us out in the future, but we don't really have that many non-creature spells, so that's why we didn't put it into our deck. But okay, let's see. We will... make a treasure token, actually. Wait, hold on. We can only do a fish token. Okay. Another mountain's good. Let us... How do we do this here? I think Jaya coming down might be helpful. Ping our opponent for 2. Opponents. Neoworm, the formats with Alchemy already have the lowest number of people playing them. That should tell them. Yeah, but let's be real. Because, honestly, I work where I work. Let's just say that management sometimes does not want to listen to people. I guess I'll put it that way. What I mean by that is a company like Hasbro/Wizards will probably not admit their mistakes. And most likely will not want to... will not want to backtrack on what they do. If that makes sense. Okay, so our opponent is going to try to now go off here. At the Ryle. Down to 11. Ugh. Once they flip, we'll see if we can try to beat them down here. Pirate Pillage. Down to 8. Neoworm. I think they did it because if people want to play with an alchemy card and that they want to break, that they have to play Arena because it's not paper or moto. You might be right on that one. I'm not sure still. I mean, I don't know. Would I love alchemy cards to go away? Yes, I would. But I just think that they're just not going to do it. I think that's the thing. They just don't want to admit they made a mistake. Okay, opponent's got all the treasure in the world now. Are they going to be able to ping us out here? Actually, hold on. Wait, can we ping him out? Let me see for a second here. I didn't think about this for a second here. Opponents? Oh, I think we can ping him out here. Opponents? Wait, does this work? I'm so dumb. Did I beat them right here? Did we do it? Did we do it? Oh my goodness. I should have done that earlier. I didn't realize. I was talking to all you guys and I didn't realize like we actually had the win there the whole time. Okay. Yay. I almost completely gave up a win there. Wow. Okay. Victory. Victory. Nice. All right. So deck feels really, really good right now. I'm actually really happy with how the deck is turning out. I do appreciate all y'all chatting, but sometimes I do feel like I need to pay attention to the game I'm playing. But thanks again for that, everybody, for helping me not avoid another fumble. Okay. Yeah, let's see. I'm looking forward to Ether Drift. Do you think they'll bring back Energy and Ruin Standard? Good question. I know right now, what is it? Mark Rosewater put out his little teaser thing on Tumblr where he's mentioning on the little blog talk thing he has about pseudo spoilers. None of the spoilers mention Energy, so I think Standard might be safe from Energy. But I do know, of course, know we are getting yet another energy commander deck, so we'll see how that goes. He also did mention that other mechanics are returning. Take that how you will. Okay, so put down the tap land. So the good news with this hand is we're a little bit higher on the curve, but we have plenty of lands to get this whole game plan off here, so this is not the worst thing. Den of the Bugbear. Put that down. Opponents, they're playing, let's say, Extus, Orc Overlord. We haven't actually seen anybody play this card, so I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see. Infestation Sage. All right.
Grim Initiate.
Okay, so they're going to be making a ton of tokens like we are. We'll see if we can find a way around that. Arid Archway. Bounce back the cave. We'll play... So that goes in Exiles. All right. We kept one off the field.
I'll be honest, though. I do like energy, but I don't think they're going to have it in them to bring back energy again to standard.
That would be probably too dangerous with the state of it right now. Okay, we'll play Glassworks. Take out that Monastery Mentor before it becomes out of control. Fanatical Firebrand. Alright, we pass. Okay, so we're keeping their tokens off of the field as much as possible, and then hopefully Purphoros will come in and just start burning out the table again. But this is going to be a tricky match, because they're going to keep trying to put out there more and more of these cards that either do burn damage, or they will try to make tokens. Interesting strategy, though. We'll see how it goes. Fanatical Firebrand. Pick up the Scamp. So that'll ping us just for one, but that's fine. Gets that off before it gets too big.
Energy just can't be fair. I have a historic energy deck with an 85% win rate. Yeah. Again, I love energy. I actually do have an energy deck built that was technically Pioneer and later became Modern Legal. And then some bannings happened. So the deck is still okay, but it took out one of my key pieces that personally I actually do need for it. But we'll see.
We'll see if I can maybe salvage that.
Oh, Cookie. Sorry you're late. That's okay. Appreciate you joining us, though. How am I doing? I'm doing great. And I appreciate you joining us today. Don't feel like you're ever late to a stream. Anytime you can show up is also is any time I'm happy. Okay, so our opponent put in and cast their spell to actually make their tokens. So this is going to be a little scary, but we have a way around it. Okay, so let's see. How do we do this? How do we get out of this? All right, so I think Kranko comes in now. Ping our opponent for that. Strike it rich. Make a treasure to do some pseudo ramping. We're going to see if we can try to burn out our opponent here, Cookie. Can we do that, though? Opponent's going to start swinging. They hit us for 3. Down to 11. Okay. We're a little bit on the scary point right here, but we can still make it. I do believe we should be good. So, with that, Beetleback Chief. Alright, so here's how we make this all work. We should be able to get down that. There we go. Here comes the burn, everybody. This is what it's all about. Ping, ping, ping. 1917. Alright. Dowsing device. So with that, we can pump up one of our creatures here. I guess it'll be the Beetleback Chief. That's fine. Kranko. Now we make all the tokens. There we go. That's what we wanted. Down to 9. Nice. All right. Big swing here. We don't even care that the Chief dies. All we just care about is just pressuring our opponent to do as much damage as possible here. Down to 6. All right.
And we have enough tokens on the backswing here, so if our opponent tries to be cheeky, we still have a way of protecting ourselves for a little bit. Oh, Rally the Ancestors? What? Oh my goodness. Did our opponent mess that up? I'm sorry, but... Oh man, that was hilarious. Our opponents made a huge mistake right there with their card. Okay, so real quick, for those that just were completely thrown off for a second there, they played Rally the Ancestors. However, they played it at a wrong portion because at the next upkeep, they literally played this at the end of their turn, and because the next upkeep came up right now, they just lost all those creatures and they didn't get any value out of it. Oh man, I would feel embarrassed if I was our opponent there, but hey, it happens. This is why you got to read your cards, everybody. Don't get me wrong, I sometimes make mistakes too and I don't read my cards, but hey, this time it worked in our favor. All right, we'll leave that one. Okay, it happens, everybody. It happens to the best of us. Oh, that's right. Neil, would Screaming Nemesis be decent in this deck? You know what? You're right. I totally forgot about Screaming Nemesis for the deck. Okay, let's actually make one minor tweak. I usually don't tweak my decks midway through a stream, but I totally forgot that Screaming Nemesis was a thing, and that does help us out with the deck. Hold on, not scheming. There we go. Okay, so we will have to cut one card, though, to get Screaming Nemesis in, because Screaming Nemesis, if that does die with damage, we can at least turn it, we can turn off our opponent's life gain, so that does help us out quite a bit. But what do we cut, though? I don't want to cut any more lands, because I want to make sure we have a high land count. Yes, that is true. We can do that. So we can burn out our opponent with that card. Let's see. Okay, so with that, the tricky part is figuring out, like, what do we want to cut, though? I have to cut, like, a weak card that really doesn't do anything for the deck. Okay, so real quick, we're going to just do a quick little side note here. I don't know, maybe the Dowsing Device? Dowsing Device is okay, but it doesn't really... It doesn't do anything else if we don't get artifacts out. Wait, do we want to cut one of the board wipes? I mean, I don't know if I want to cut one of the cheap board wipes because they did help us out in one game. I think the Dowsing Device is probably going to be the one card I might cut because it helps out to a degree, but you need more artifact support to actually flip it, and we don't have that much. I mean, we have... How many artifacts do we have in the deck? 11. That's okay, but it's not enough to flip this. So you know what? I'm going to cut that one. I think everything else should be fine. But if I'm wrong, I guess we'll find out later today. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and we'll continue on. And as we approach, we're reaching the halfway point of the stream already. Wow, time's flying on this one. So again, I do want to remind everybody, as a friendly thing, whether you're watching as a brand new viewer, replay, wherever you're watching, if you do like, again, the content, again, show some love. Like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Spread the word that we also have a Discord where we're trying to have our growing fiery circle of fiery friends get bigger and bigger. And again, we'll have some fun chats there. I know I don't chat too often there, so I do apologize for that one. But I'm going to try to stay as active as possible and post all kinds of fun stuff for you guys. It also does for us to hang out. Okay, going back, of course, to the game. We will have a Roiling Vortex. We have our Goblin Bushwhacker. We have a Kadotha Rebirth. We have a Collector's Vault. Okay. I think this should be a good. We could definitely burn out our opponent quick here. We just need more lands. That's all we need. Yeah, so I guess removing the device was, I think, the right move. I had ideas for that one, but it kind of was a little clunky in a deck that's not artifact heavy. Okay, meantime, let's see what our opponent is going to try to throw at us. Opponent? Are you there? Maybe? Okay. Well, this might be a non-game. But maybe our opponent went to go do something real quick. They're going to play Freyalise, so it's a pseudo-alchemy card, I guess you could say. But okay. Opponents? Opponents? Anytime now. Oh, wow. Okay. Our opponent might be AFK. I guess we'll just have to roll with that. So, Bushwhacker. Just to get some damage in. Okay. So, I'm assuming this one's probably going to be a non-game. So if it does end up being that way, I guess I'll have a question I do want to ask all of y'all. So next Tuesday is when we officially will start getting spoilers coming for Ether Drift. So we'll definitely talk about that a little bit next week on stream. But the question I want to ask everyone is, I know some of you have already talked to me a little bit about Ether Drift, but what are your thoughts now as we get closer to the reveal? What are you hoping you will get? Are you hoping it's going to be a lot of silly, goofy puns and stuff? Because it sounds like we're going to get that, of course, in cards. Are you hoping to get some good vehicles? Are you hoping it's just not going to be a bad set? I don't know. Let me know. I personally, again, I'm still looking forward to Ether Drift. I think it's going to be a great and a fun set. I'm not going to, of course, take it too seriously, but I like vehicles. I doubt, however, we will get energy. Even though I predicted we'll get energy, I doubt Wizards will bring that back. Okay. Yeah, our opponent is, doesn't look like they're there. So I guess we'll just play until we get a free win, I guess. Okay, Dan Splendid. Okay. How about this, Dan Splendid? Once we get near the end of the stream in about like another 45 minutes or so, if things are slow like this, don't worry. We'll have at least one Brawl match. Utopia Sprawl. Cookie. I hope we get vehicle artifacts with support cards as the art of the cards. That would be cool. I love sports cars. Well, I know there's already been, with some of those teasers we've gotten so far, it looks like we should be getting some decent stuff. So we shall see. Seize the spoils. Let's see, what do we get rid of? I guess we'll get rid of the Roiling Vortex. Draw some cards, make a treasure. We will swing here for 1, down to that. Okay, so I mean, our opponent is technically there, I guess, but I'm still confused as to what happened earlier. Nissa. Okay, well, it looks like our opponent's now coming alive. So, I guess we do have a game. Purphoros. And I guess that's it for now. Pass. So, game plan right now. We have the Ogre Battle Driver. We have Torbrand. So we have enough spots right here. We should be able to start burning out our opponent. Okay. If we can get one more land, I think we'll be in business. An Artifact Planeswalker? Ooh, that sounds kind of good. We'll see if that goes. That actually would be pretty sweet. I know we are getting at least one artifact. What is it? We are getting for sure an artifact for Planeswalkers. That was teased a while ago. Okay, so here's how we do this. Torbrand coming in. Ping our opponent. Down to him for 4. All right, so let's see. I think Tectonic Hazard. Sacrificing the treasure. We take out the Nissa. We swing with both. Now, yes, Bushwhacker will probably die, but Purphoros will do some heavy damage here. Oh, they actually blocked Purphoros. Okay. That's fine. Or no. Wait. They're thinking. Okay. Down to 8. There we go. That's what we wanted. Even if Purphoros is not a creature right now, he'll still do some damage. All right. Fraley's coming in. Let's see, opponent. Can you catch up? Or can we burn them out before it's too late? Yes, Artifact Equipment Planeswalker. That's what we're getting. And there you go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough today. All right, another victory for today, everybody. Woo! Wow, this deck is actually feeling really good today. It's definitely, of course, in my wheelhouse. So this is definitely my style of gameplay. Okay, so with that, let's see. Neo Worm, Mana Rock vehicles, Leyline vehicles would be nice too. Good question there. I don't know if we're going to get Leyline vehicles. They did mention in the teaser that we are going to get sprinkles of small mechanics from other sets because this is supposed to be a race among other planes. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm still going to remain optimistic though. Den of the Bugbear. We'll play Clockwork Percussionist, our little monkey toy. Swing with the monkey. Our opponent is playing Karametra, so that means it's going to be a lot of... 30 of the console is going to be a problem for us, everybody. As much as I would like to burn out the table, Authority is going to slow us down a lot. So, we'll see. This might be a bad matchup for us, but we shall see in a second how this goes. Swing here first. 23. And then Gleeful Demolition, taking out our monkey. This will help us make some tokens, but our opponent will get a lot of that life back. Ugh. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's all... Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It's definitely been a while since we've actually played a burn deck, so I was actually really happy to have something set for today with that. Alright. How do we get around this? I guess we'll have the Tectonic Hazard now. I didn't want to do it now, but I need to get rid of that before it starts gaining more life. Down to 23. Okay, so if we can get one more land for Purphoros, I think we should be good to go here. Or Hedron Archive also. Okay, landfall triggers. Further Snick. Passion Orator. Oh boy. Well, it's coming. They're definitely going to try to start gaining more life here. No attacks yet. So, let's see. I think we'll have to Kadotha Rebirth the Gold Hound. Then Goblin Bushwhacker hopefully should then just do some damage against our opponent. Unless if they have some kind of way to remove Purphoros, which is possible in a enchantment deck. We'll see. Neoworm. Vehicles are going to help the survival mechanic from Duskborn. You are right about that. I do know that we should be getting more mounts, because they did mention in the teaser that we're getting a... we're supposed to get a cat and dog mount. That's kind of cute. We'll see. Hopefully it'll be something fun. Okay, another mountain. That's fine. Okay, so with that... How do we do this here? Actually... Sacrifice the Gold Hound. That is a little awkward because of the life gain. But we do ping our opponent a chunk here. Demolition Field away the Curse Tower. We just need to get out now some just more red lands. It's time to duel. Oh, that gives me an idea for a future little audio clip I want to put in. Thank you. I know what I'm going to put on there. I'm going to put on I have to put on that little Yu-Gi-Oh audio clip there. I'm going to do that for a future one, even if we're not technically a Yu-Gi-Oh style of stream. Actually, I do play Yu-Gi-Oh though. It has been a while though, but I do have a deck. Maybe I'll do that for like April Fool's Day. We'll see. Oh, we could do it for points, too. I have to set that up still. I remember I gotta still do that, Cookie. Thanks for reminding me. I'll put in some effects where you guys can interact a little bit, if you want to, with the stream in the future. We'll do that. Okay, no blocks. It's gonna be a very annoying deck to fight, but we're gonna try. We will try to get around this. Hedron Archive. Okay, so, let's see. How is there any way out of this? I guess Squee comes in. Ping our opponents. No attacks yet. Now, the only way out of this is we have to find a way to do some burn damage against them, but... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, Voice of the Blessed. That's a scary card. And it's going to start going off now. Ew. Ew. Okay. So... We're not looking too good here. Oh, that's right. It could be the return of Rin and Siri as a legendary cat-dog duo. You're right. That could be a thing. Opponent. Blew up away our Mana Rock, so we can't ramp as much as we would like to. But, yeah, that Voice of the Blessed is going to be the biggest threat to us now. So we're going to be in real trouble here quick. Actually, we'll hold off for a second there. 17. Screaming Nemesis. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so glad we got this in here. Screaming Nemesis. But now we just need a way for it to actually activate. So, no attacks yet. Screaming Nemesis means that we can hold off our opponent, but Voice of the Blessed is our biggest threat. Bristly Bill. All right. People really like that cactus. I mean, I have fought against this card for so long. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. I'm excited. I got 2,500 points. Wow, that's a lot of points you got there. That is a lot of points, though. I'm sure you are just itching to use those, Cookie. Neoworm. This is when you need Nemesis. Yes, this is when we need Nemesis, but we don't have a way of activating him. So, ugh. This is so sad right now. We have no way of getting around this. Ugh. Okay, so one last hurrah. Although the Bushwhacker himself can't do anything, we'll still just activate everything as best we can here. All right, Desperation Swing. Desperation Swing. I know it's not going to do much of anything, but if I'm going to die, I'm going out swinging. Punk Rap. Hola, amigos de Mysterio. Sorry. Terrible Spanish, by the way. But hola. Welcome. Good, sir. I think you're in deep. Yeah. We are, yeah, we're not going to win this one. But if we're going to lose, I might as well just go out just hitting them with everything we've got. All right. And with that puts us at a loss because they're going to swing with Voice of the Blessed. I'll let them do it while I just sit here and cry. Sadness. All right, opponents. Go ahead. Do your thing. I'll let you do your thing real quick. Well, while our opponent is doing their thing, so far the deck is feeling pretty good, though. Aside from maybe matches like this where we are completely against our element because they're enchantment focused and mono red does not have any answers to enchantments, deck still feels really, really good. So I actually do like it. So let our opponent get their smash in. And yeah, we got wasted on that one. Ouch. Ouch. Okay. Moving on again. No big deal. We've actually gotten more wins than losses today, so I'm actually pretty happy about that one still. Hello, mystery friend, is this translation, I think. Oh, okay. Well, thanks again for that translation. Appreciate that, Cookie. Neoworm, I think I'm going to have to make this deck. Yeah. The baby crying, I think, was a cute element. Don't use that baby cry too often because I don't want to lose. But hey, it worked out that time because, dang, we completely got blown out that last game. But that's okay. Again, that's one of the fun things about at least Magic is you're never going to have the perfect deck. There's always going to be something that kind of just awkwardly hard counters you. But that's okay. I'm still having fun, though. This deck is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So I'm actually really excited to play this. You know what? I'm going to have to make this deck. Don't worry, I will definitely leave a link for you. If you feel like you want to tweak it beyond what we did today, by all means do so. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I probably could use to refine it. And there's obviously a couple of other options you have for this style of deck. Originally with the deck, I built it as mostly a Goblin deck with just Purphoros as kind of like the support. But there's so many good pingers that you'd miss out on if you're just a Goblin deck. So that's why we kind of did a bit of a hybrid style. So you see we have a lot of Goblins and tokens that make goblins, but we just mostly use them not necessarily to do aggro damage. We're just trying to ping as much as we can. So that's why I designed it the way I did. And it's actually awkwardly kind of working. You really do want to fight Dense Planets. Don't worry, again, hold off for a little bit more. Let's say this. Okay, give me like another couple more matches, and then we'll go from there. Don't worry. I have not forgotten today. I have not forgotten. Dark Ritual. Okay, what are they doing? All right, they're bringing in their rats. So they are, I guess, a rat deck or a toxic deck, or maybe both. We'll see. This could be spicy. Oh, okay, so they are playing the gimmick of Rat Colony. Okay, well, let's see. Is there a way out of this? I think we'll put down the Impact Tremors. So, Ironically, here is when we could use those End of Festivities and Tectonic Plates, because those with Rat Colony, that will blow out our opponent quick. But if we cannot get to them, we also will be in big trouble. So we'll see what happens. Nezumi Informant. Okay, so with that, I guess we'll throw away the Insult to Injury. Yep, the rats are coming. It's actually been a while since we've done a rat deck ourselves. Maybe I might do one again in the future. So, let's see. How do we get out of this? I think... Brass's Tunnel Grinder is probably going to be our answer here. We need to discard some stuff. Throw away the Rolling Vortex and the Demolition Field. Draw 3 new cards. And then that gets 1 counter on it. Okay, so... what we need to do now is we need to start putting stuff on the field, because those rats are going to be a threat. And you can see they're coming. Down to 18 already. And we also... Ooh, those toxic... That's going to hurt a lot. So let's see. Goldhound. Hang our opponent. Dragon Fodder. Make some more goblins. Ping, ping, ping. Down to 21. Okay, so we have ways of protecting our game plan now for the time being. But let's see if we can hold out.
Oh yeah, Dense Planet wants the duel. Yes, he does. Okay. Alright. Opponents. Thinking hard about this one. Okay.
Alright. So they put out 1 threat, so the very minimum will take out these 2 cards. Again, we don't care that our creatures die. We just need to keep the board in control, at least until we get what we need. So with that, let's see. Well, this is awkward. We can't really cast anything. I mean, I can cast the Injury, but that doesn't really get rid of the Carbonics. Okay, we'll have to wait. Come on, deck. Give me 1 more land. I need 1 more land, and we should be able to then fight back.
Okay.
Rat Colony again.
It will be fair to run my good Brawl deck against yours.
Okay. But whatever you want to play, I'm fine. Okay, down to 12. All right, we're running a little low here, so we need to get this done quick. Cranko. Not my ideal choice right now, because I want to be able to make tokens with him. And we're a little light on creatures. So, we are looking a little in the danger zone right now. Blot out. Okay. Alright. Well, I think this one might be done. Down to 4. We have 8 counters. And not really any way of doing anything else.
Our only hope right now is
getting a Wrath. Like, literally, that's all we can do right now is try to Wrath away. We'll throw away the Twin Flame Tyrant. Ooh, 2 lands is not what we needed. So with that, yeah. Yep. I think we lost this one. Ping our opponent again. The Tunnel Grinder does not flip. Okay. So even if we block here, they still have enough to either do damage to us or poison us. Either way, we have lost. Dang. All right. Well, it's okay. You win some, you lose some. Not a big deal. Neoworm, there's currently a turn 3 poison win in Standard. It's been a while since Infect was in Standard, and that was a rough time. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely say Toxic is definitely still a powerful mechanic that still I forgot in Standard for a little bit longer. Even if it was in Pioneer, there's enough creatures and support now where it is a massive threat to the board. Yep. So literally we got... Ouch, we got the double loss there. They gave us enough poison counters to kill us, and they got us down to 0. Ouch. Well, it happens. It happens. It's okay. We'll shake that one off. Not a big deal. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's continue on. Because I believe in the God of Burn, everyone. We actually have had quite a few good wins. The deck is very explosive, but there are some room for improvement. So it's going to be something that we'll have to kind of tweak along the way. Maybe I'll probably look at this again to keep in my personal collection, because I do like the deck. It's fun. Okay, so taking it in right now. So we have Kadotha Rebirth, Ruby Medallion for cheaper costs. Okay, this is pretty good. Purphoros should be able to come in very quickly here. We just need at least maybe one artifact to sack. This actually would be pretty nice with Kadotha Rebirth. But even so, we have a Pashlik Mons also and a Witty Roastmaster. Let's see. Our opponent is playing... Ooh, they're playing an energy deck. And they're playing Sataya. I actually do have this pre-con. Oh. Never mind. Guess our opponent did not want to play. Okay, well, I guess free win for today. Yay. I suppose. Okay, well, we'll just jump back in. No big deal. So, question for everybody out there that's watching right now. What are you building right now? Are there brews out there that have interested you? Is there something that excites you out there? Are you waiting for the next set to drop in hopes that maybe whatever you're building will be rounded out by the newest cards? Let me know. I would love to hear what you guys are all building. Cookie. I don't like very much mono red decks, but I really enjoy watching you play. It's chill and it's fun at the same time. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know this is definitely not your style of deck, but I do appreciate that you're still enjoying the content. So thanks again for watching, whether I again manage to burn out my opponent or I get blown up myself. But okay, so with this hand here, so we do have a small Wrath, Bushwhacker to just go be super aggro, seize the spoils to draw. Sofrum's another burn card, and also we can loot some stuff with Collector's Vault. Okay. This should be good. Our opponent is a Tally, so I'm expecting either dinosaurs or something really broken right now. We'll see. We'll see which one it is. Torbrand is nice for later, though. Okay, Forest. What you got, opponent? Show me what you got. Fanatic of Ronos. Okay. So they're definitely going to start trying to build up ramp. We'll have a Collector's Vault. Oh, I definitely know. Your deck is ready. I definitely know that. You have been ready. Okay, up the Beanstalk. Any swings from our opponents? They do. Down to 24. Reckless Lackey. So with that, we'll play the Lackey now. Activate. Draw a card. I guess we'll throw away Seize the Spoils for now. Make a treasure. Swing with our card down to 24. Okay, so with Collector's Vault out, we can now consistently keep drawing to then build up more treasures. We do have enough now to bring out Torbrand, which is actually what we want first. Because Torbrand will stack up damage very quickly. Down to 23. Okay, this is good. So with that... Alright, actually... no, actually we'll do it this way. We do need Torbrand out. It's tempting right now to have the General out. But we can do still consistently 3 damage with Torbrand still doing its thing. I just want them to put out some more creatures, though. So that's so I can justify the Tectonic Hazard. Cookie, trying to build the deck I put on Discord. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, again, that'll go well for you. Neo Worm. I love 8-rack style decks, but no a day... But nowadays, every card draws a card, so it's really hard to keep an opponent empty-handed. I'd like to see more artifacts that deal damage for drawing or discarding. Okay, so Vorinclex is here, and that is also a scary card, because he can definitely ramp very quickly, and he is a huge boy right now. Ooh, he big boy. But yeah, I do agree with you, Neo Worm. I love aggro decks, but it just feels so clunky to play aggro decks these days because everything has to have like 3-4 lines of text for value. It's just not the same anymore. So this is why I like today's deck, but it's definitely not what it once was, I would say. Impact Tremors. And then, like you can see right here, we're already really, really behind. I could put down a good Bushwhacker here, so he does some damage. But it's not... It's just not enough. Ugh. Even if I block here, they have tramplers, so... I don't know if I'm going to survive this hit. Ooh, jeez. Yeah. I feel like, honestly, if I was to be very, very blunt... I mean, with a couple of select very niche decks, I feel like mono red is still... Or at least mono red is now the weakest color in Magic. I mean, look at this. Come on, really? Green does this now? Ugh, this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So they swing with their big creatures, because that's all they will do. I guess they'll just block with one. Doesn't really matter. I don't see us getting out of this. Down to 11. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Another mountain. So, with that, yeah. I don't know how we can actually survive this one. I mean, I could put down the general. It's really our only real good play. Ping our opponent for 3. Cookie. I can't agree that mono red aggro with the manifold mouse is very strong. Well, again, in a vacuum, like standard right now has already a solid red deck, but the issue is for me, it kind of still susceptible to a lot of stuff because red doesn't have very many ways of protecting itself. It's just focused on just doing as much damage as possible. All right, since we're going to just lose here, I might as well just swing. Do some damage, I guess. Down to 6. Okay. We came close. We came very close here, but we just couldn't make enough tokens to then finish off our opponent here. All we just needed was one decent token maker. That's all we needed. That's okay. Laughing Jasper Flint is against your god. Okay, so I will definitely be ready for you for that one, Dense Planet. Let me get in maybe one more game after this, and then we'll challenge you. Fair? I think that's fair. Hey, Worm. Green is ridiculous now. It has ramp, card draw, and counters. Yeah. Ramp has gotten, realistically, in the past like couple years, they've gotten good protection spells now, mass protection. They've always had ramp. And actually, their biggest weakness Green used to have was just they had no card draw. But now they have a lot of good card draw. I mean, look at this. Like, up the beanstalk here. Here's another one of those cards that rewards Green for just being who they are. Because they have a ton of ramp to get big creatures out, and they just keep drawing more and more cards. And then the other issue is you'll notice that up the beanstalk, unlike, say, like, White has good draw cards now, but they also limit them to, like, once per turn. Up the beanstalk here does not stop you from constantly drawing cards. There's no once per turn on this card. I mean, I think that's a little unfair. And then you can see right here, Nissa. Jeez. Yeah. Well, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible here. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I block, because we just lost. We came close, but we still lost. All right. Yeah. That was not necessary. Opponent. Absolutely not necessary there. Dang, we got wrecked there so hard. Dang. Oh, all right. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we got completely destroyed there. But I will definitely say, Up the Beanstalk is incredibly powerful now. So, I know Red's thing is they don't really draw cards, they exile cards. There's a whole impulse thing where you just exile things and put them off to the side until you need them. But I don't know, like, I'm fine with that as a mechanic for Red. I just want something, I guess, that helps Red with certain types of matchups. I know we've gotten more specific color hate with Red, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the best solution is for Red. I don't know. Or or is it because I have a bias to red cards that I feel this way? Let me know, everybody, what your thoughts are on that. Yeah, I got obliterated. Yes, thank you, Dense Linnets. I had to be reminded that that was absolutely horrible for me. But okay. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have one more here, just a regular match, and then Dense Linnet, I'll have you join in for the time being. So I guess I'll open it up a little bit. If anybody does want to play me for a little bit for the next part of the stream, I'll open up the floor for today, since we do have a little time, and things are going pretty well. Okay, down to 24. So our opponent is playing Savala here, so they're going to be all in on doing a lot of ramping, creature stuff, all those shenanigans. No attacks yet. So, what's our next option here? Okay. Okay, so Vala Heart of the Wilds. So whenever the creature enters, the controller may draw cards. And draw a card if its power is greater than the other creature's power. Okay, and then they're going to add a ton of mana. So, yep, ramp and card draw. Totally fair. All right, Goreclaw. Okay, more big mono green creature stuff. Joy. Okay, Mox Amber. Goldhound. So let's see. I think Tunnel Grinder is what we'll put in first. And then we'll have to kind of do a little bit of rearranging here. Okay, so let's see. What do we drop? I think we'll drop Jaya and Scavenger Grounds. Get 3. Okay, well, Seer Slicer Goblin will be nice. No attacks, though. Put a board counter. Wow, opponents. They actually blew up the Tunnel Grinder? Absolutely disgusting. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We do have at least enough lands we can still cast our stuff. Neoworm, I think red needs a better board wipe. Red wipes are damage-based, so when so many things get counters, they quickly get out of reach. Yeah, red can have some good wraths, but either they're expensive for how much damage you're doing, so they're overkill, like, what is it, Star of Extinction? Great card, but it kind of... You need a ton of mana in order for it to go off, and red's not the best at ramping. It needs treasures, for example, to kind of do its thing. Okay, we're, okay, well, this is going to get a blowout now. So you can see right here, mono green just has ways of getting well bigger than what red can do. I know that red's purpose is to be low to the ground, super fast and aggressive, but a matchup like this shows one of the hindrances that red has. Because we're having trouble ramping here. We're having trouble with putting creatures out there quick enough to keep up with our opponents. And then also, as you did mention, some of the cheaper wraths are very, very low to the ground where you don't really get a chance to do much of anything. Oh, come on. Really? Ugh. Alright. Alright, well. I mean, I can block here. But that's not enough to stop our opponent here. They won again. Burn Down the House is actually pretty good because at least that one's a flexible wrath. It will do some good damage, or you can use it for tokens. So I guess maybe that would be good for this deck. But it's too late on this one. Alright. Sadness here. Alright, it's fine. Okay, so Dense Splinit. As I did mention, and we have 30 minutes to go before the stream is over. If you do want to play now, I'll let you join in. Oh yeah, you were definitely ready there. You were definitely ready, my friend. All right. Throw off, obviously, the God of Burn. So let's go ahead and let's play. Okay. It's time to duel. Do you have Nykthos in this deck? Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm super dumb. I probably should put Nykthos in this deck. It's something I actually never considered. I'll definitely try to do that next time. Don't worry, next time. So maybe I'll talk about that in the wrap-up here, because there are, I know when I put this together, there are definitely some cards that I have kind of forgotten, but it's because I put this deck together in the middle of the night last night, and I only did some light testing. I liked the concept, but I did not refine it as much as I should have. It's okay, though. It's okay. The point is still we're having fun with it. And the deck, even though it's not super optimized, has been working very well today. Oh, yes. I realize now that, yes, we do need the ley lines probably with this. This probably would have helped out a lot more. Okay, Reckless Lackey, because that's what I'm going to do. All right. So, can we beat our fiery friend Densplint right here? We shall see. Let's see if we can keep up with you. But yeah, I'll make some more refinements. Probably near the end, and we'll talk about that stuff. Near the end of the video. Well, thank you for the words of encouragement there. As always, Cookie. Mountain. And let's see. Heraldic Banner. Obviously on red. And we'll pass. Okay, my friend. Do you have an answer? A braid? You actually do have an answer. Terrible. That's fine. Alright, swing us again. Okay. We get pinged again here. Don't think you're going to get cheeky off of just one little goblin. I will beat that little goblin down. It's your favorites. It's your favorite girl there. Chandra here.
Hey, over here.
So we'll exile. I think that'll probably be the best option. You are stumbling on mana. I have noticed that. So maybe that'll be to our advantage. Bitter Triumph.
This was a
Ew.
waste of my time.
Terrible.
This?
Alright, deal damage. Okay, fine. You do have an edge right now. But don't get too cheeky. Down to 19. Okay, so with that, let's see. Can we get out of this hole that put us in? We'll make some tokens. And pass. Down to 19. Kite Sail Freeboater. Well, as you can see right here, in our matchup right now, it looks like Densplint is struggling to get his mana out. So for now, while we are also trying to build a game plan, that is buying us the time we need to hopefully stop him. But will it be enough? The clock is now ticking on both sides of us. So we shall see here. All right, we took out your card. We'll get back our invasion there. Thank you very much, sir. The tables have turned, my friend. The tables have turned. Swing at the invasion. All right. How you like that? Yeah? Yeah. Hope you like that turnaround. Because now we're making our comeback, everybody. Okay, so with that, it is now safe to put in the Purphoros. And we'll put in our Wily Goblin. All right. Pinging our opponent down here. Swing, swing, swing. Hey, to be fair, Densplint wanted to face off against this deck, so I am happy to oblige today. And you see right here, oh man, the deck right now is going off beautifully. This is what you want our deck to do. Look at that. All right, sir. Densplint, I know you kind of stumbled on mana, but man, when the deck goes off, oh my goodness, that was beautiful. All right, good game. Although I kind of blew you out there very quick. Yeah, I know, you got no lands. So how about this? Would you like a rematch? I'm sure you would like a rematch to keep it fair. How many lands are you running in the deck, though? Okay, well, when you're ready, I will be here. So, whenever you're set. $38 lands? Okay. So you have a decent amount of lands in the deck. Although, to be honest, actually, now that I've been playing a little bit more on Brawl and also been trying to improve my game when it comes to actually making paper Magic decks, I've been trying to actually push myself to try to maintain no less than 38, and ideally, actually as high as 40. 40 has so far been consistent enough where I never miss a land drop. But, I mean, we do stumble every so often. But honestly, I would definitely say start with 40, figure out your curve from there, what your deck is trying to do, and make those adjustments. I'm definitely now fallen, of course, into the trap early on when I would only run like 33, 4 lands in a Brawl / Commander deck. And that obviously will not only get you yelled at by people at actual events because that's not enough lands, but also because you will not cast a thing. So, definitely, like, 38's pretty good, but I would definitely start saying 40 has always been a safe bet. Better off to have more lands and get flooded and then find cards in your deck that you can use to get rid of those lands when you don't need them versus not having enough lands to cast anything. So, food for thoughts. But I guess I would suppose I have to look at the deck again to see like what you're rocking. Okay, everybody, so here we go. Can we beat our fiery friend Den Splunets in this friendly match? Well, we're about to see right now. Now it's my turn to do the 1-turn Reckless Lackey. Unless you got... Oh. Turn 1 Fatal Push, as always. Man, even in Brawl, I always get the turn 1 Fatal Push. Charming Scoundrel. I wonder if I should put this card in, too, for this deck. Not too bad. It gives Pseudo Ramp if you need it, so... I don't know. There's definitely a lot of options you can do with this kind of a deck. So, either way, I mean, that's actually one of the things I like about this deck right now. It's actually a lot more flexible when it comes to being built versus some of the other ones we've done. All right. Laughing Jasper Flint, everybody. But I am sorry, my friend. Can't have that stay in the game. So, we're going to have to at least delay it a turn. Okay, down to 23. Will this be the match where I get blown out? We'll see. Ruby Medallion, so that does make everything a little bit cheaper, but we do need stuff on the field now. Because otherwise, Den Splendet here looks like he's going to get his revenge very quickly. Alright, we're getting hit here. Alright, that's fine though. Oh, now we're in the awkward spot. Okay, looks like we're about to get completely mana screwed here. Razorkin Needlehead. A Braid. Oh. That's, okay, you really are trying to get your revenge today. Okay. Gisa. No blocks. Ouch. Okay, so we got our land draw, but now we lost our Ruby Medallion, so once again, we're placed into a really awkward spot here because we can't cast anything. Okay, well. Let's see. Opponents. Laughing Jasper Flint coming back in. And I think he's got us this time. Because no matter what I block right now, I'm not going to have enough to stop him. So, I don't even know if I want to block. I guess I'll just keep it open for a little bit longer. Just for one more turn. But at 9... Oh. Yeah. Alright. I guess you got me on this one, good sir. Well done. I mean, I can block here for one more turn, but it's not enough to stop your game plan. Now he's going to start stealing stuff from me. You dirty thief. Taking my cards like that. Oh, come on. How dare you? How dare you? But hey, oh well. Alright. I'm just going to block the Jasper Flint out of mostly spites. But okay, well done. Alright, well now you got your revenge, so good job. Good game. Although I now got mana screwed there, but okay. It is what it is. Oh, yeah, yeah, he is enjoying it now. Yeah, you got your win there, so hopefully again on that one. So I'm going to jump into one more regular match for now. I'll let you kind of, like, if you want to mix up a different deck, let me know. But I'll jump into the other one. And also, I'll throw it out there real quick. If anybody else still wants to do a match or so with me, I do have enough time where I can squeeze in maybe another couple more against any fiery friends. But even if you don't want to, I'll do one more regular one here. Den Splendet, I'm sure you would like to play again. So give me a moment here to then grab in a couple more here. I'm sure you do want to play the same deck, but if you do want to play something else, I'll give you a moment to kind of look it over. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Can we burn out our opponents with our Purphoros? Guess we'll see right here. Okay, I'll give Rev a try against you. Okay, that's fair. So one was set up right here. And we'll play our... Actually, we'll play Den of the Bugbear first. And play our Monkey. So our opponent is playing... Oh. Okay, our opponent did not want to play. I mean, that's fun, I guess. Alright, well, I guess now our opponent was like, oh, never mind, Dense Planet wants to play. I'll give you a minute there, sir. Because they kind of were awkward about that, but okay. Okay, Defathom Echo, and I get some coins out of that one. Okay, so, if you're still there... just give me a second here. And then if you want to throw in what you want, I will definitely have you challenge again. So while Den Splendid is getting himself prepared, everybody, at some point, if not this month, definitely next month, we'll show some love, if you will, for once we probably get to Ether Drift. I think after Ether Drift, I'll have one stream set up again, or if you do want to take me on, I'll have one whole stream dedicated to anybody that wants to play against me. Doesn't matter what format it is. If you want to play Brawl, Standard Style, Timeless, Explorer, I'll have that set to go. So I think I'm going to schedule that for next month. And then also, a couple other things that I do want to remind everyone. If you do want to, again, continually support me in any way, shape, or form, I do, of course, have a Patreon. I'm going to start adding that as a bot link, of course, so if you want to click on that, I'll put that up on the next stream. Again, as always, you can just be a true fiery friend of just like, following, subscribing the content. Show your support and love. Even if you don't want to spend a single dollar on me, as long as you are there to watch the content, give a like, share the videos with others that are interested in the gameplay here. I appreciate that, and I do hope that we will continually keep growing our circle of fiery friends as we go down the line. And of course, once we get near the end of the stream, I will of course have an opportunity to then build up more stuff. More unique content is definitely going to be coming on the way this year. So I'm going to be experimenting with that. So I want to throw that out there for everybody. Okay. So if you're not there just yet, Den Splendid, I will jump into another game for the time being because I do want to try to see if we can squeeze in maybe 1 or 2 more matches depending on how long they go. Afterwards, as much as I would love to stream longer than just a small 2 hours, that's all unfortunately I can muster. For those of you that are unaware, I do have, of course, a big boy job, and of course I have to work that big boy job in order to support myself. But again, if you want to help support me so I don't have to work a big boy job as much, and I can play more games with all of you, I do have a Patreon. That link will be located, of course, in the details for all these videos that we do. The Patreon at the start only is $3 a month just to get some extra gameplay, bonus footage that does not make it onto over here on YouTube. So check that out. I'll put, of course, some more random commentary on those bonus videos down the line. So that'll be, again, worth your value if you do want to at least show me a little bit of love. But okay, going back to the game right here, we have right now should be everything that we need to start ramping very quickly here. Neoworm. I'm still waiting to be a real boy. Well, don't worry. There is time. At some point, if you do want to, again, as I mentioned, we will definitely have that player stream again. It will be coming. That's what it. Okay, after this match, we'll duel again. Okay, so how about we'll do it this way? I think I'll make yours then the final one. Cookie, I would love to support more, but I only gain $60 a month. Oh, that's okay. Any support by even just showing up, I do appreciate. So thank you for that one. Ouch, $60 a month. Oof. Hopefully, again, your living situation is okay, though. Obviously, take care of yourself first. Obviously, you definitely want to do that. All right, so what do we put in here? I think Collector's Vault. Swing first, down to 24. Okay, so you got Rev ready to go. That's cool. I'm ready for Rev. Okay, opponent puts down another land. They're playing Admiral Brass. We actually played her also as a Brawl deck a year ago. If you haven't seen that one's actually a pretty fun one too. I have a whole deck tech I built with Admiral Brass, so that's actually a pretty fun budget one too. And actually, I actually put together an actual pirate deck in paper At some point, I'll make a bonus video. Maybe I'll put up on the Patreon, and then maybe that'll go to YouTube, where I actually do talk about my personal decks that I have. I actually do have quite a few decks that I would love to talk about with you guys. Okay, until then, however, how do we do this here? Chandra. All right, Desmond, it's your favorite girl here. Chandra coming in, and she doing her thing. Let's see. We will take out Malcolm. So Chandra's a little vulnerable right now, but Lightning Crew can't do any damage, so she should be okay for a turn. Oh, or not. Dang. They actually had a single pinger for us, so that means Chandra sadly is going to go bye-bye. Sadness. Okay, so Chandra goes bye-bye. Dang. If I knew that, I probably should have just done some ramping instead. Oh well, it is what it is. So with that, we will play... How do we do this here? I think Red Cap Thief. So that creates for us a treasure. I'm fine, but thanks for worrying, though. Okay. Well, I want to make sure, again, you're all okay. I know some of you all have your unique living situations. I just hope, again, take care of yourselves first. Always do that, which is the reason why kind of leads me back to my personal thing. As much as I would also like to stream a lot more, I obviously don't have all the time in the world, so 1 or 2 streams a week is, honestly, the best I can do. But as long as I can do it, I will try to do it as much as possible. So I appreciate all of you showing some love for the stream. Okay. Admiral Brass coming in. And she can create a lot of value very quickly with some powerful pirates. Wait. Is that an alchemy card? Ew, that's disgusting. Dinosaur Pirate sounds kind of neat, but not as an alchemy card. Alright, are they going to bring that one out? Let's see. Will they do it? Opponent. Can't be too long to figure it out. Don't keep me waiting too long. Don't want to get bored here. Okay. So they are playing with the Dinosaur Pirates. I don't even know what this does. I can't keep up with any of these alchemy cards. Okay, when it deals combat damage, it makes a treasure token. Okay. And they steal a card. Well, that's not fun. It's always these alchemy cards that just drive me nuts. Okay, Hedron Archive. Okay. So, let's see. I guess... I think we will seize the spoils. We'll throw away the Hedron Archive. Come on, deck. Give me some lands. That's what I need right now. Me too. At least I'm uploading shorts every day. So, that's also another one of those things I've learned as a content creator is you have to kind of find a way to pace yourself the way you can. I try to do as much as I can, like 5 to 6 videos a week, where it's like 2 to 3 shorts. And for me, it'll be 1 to 2 streams and 1 to 2 YouTube videos, depending on the ratio and what is my availability. So right now it's been, I know, 1, sometimes maybe 2 YouTube videos. I would like to do more, but it's just hard to keep up with, especially when you got life and you do have to take care of your own personal self. But I'll do what I can when I can. Opponents. Okay, River's Rebuke. So we lose everything. And now we're going to get blown out here very quick. Okay, like crew pings us. So that means our opponent here will do, what, 8 damage to us? Ugh. Actually, even more than that, because I forgot Malcolm comes in. And I think that's game. Yeah, that's game. Dang. River's Rebuke, everybody. Terrible. Alright, well. Unfortunately, we ended up there with a loss. But it's fine. Okay. We're going to shake that one off. Dense Planet, this is your time to shine. If you want one more, I'll take you on one more time. Win or lose. Don't matter. You know, I'm having a combo piece or one of Heisted is so depressing. I'm not a fan of that mechanic. Don't even get me started on Heist. God, that card. Heist made me so angry when I saw it. I mean, what it does is just feel so unfun. There's definitely a lot of unfun mechanics in all of Magic, but that one as a digital one is just, oh, it's just terrible. It just tilts me so much. Oh, hold on. That's what, let me write every third day to make it a simple 2 videos a week. I mean, start off nice and easy. That's what I've learned. Originally, I was doing 1 video every other day, where I can do 1 short, off day, 1 video, off day. And then a couple months ago, I was able to kind of pick up the pace a little bit, because once I kind of got my rhythm down, I knew what I can do. But I also try to make sure I tell myself not to overdo it, because I don't want to burn myself out. And that's also one of those things that you got to be careful of when you do videos. But I'm sure you're learning that as you go along. And eventually you'll start streamlining your personal self and kind of figure out again what works best for you. Duress. Okay. Well, what are you going to take from me, good friend? See the spoils. Okay. Well, that's a choice. Put down the mountain. I'm pretty sure you're going to see what's coming in now. The monkey. Okay, snow-covered swamp. Alright, Screecher. Brass's tunnel grinder. Alright, put in the fountain port. Collector's vaults. Alright, so you got that bat online. Can't swing with my monkey just yet, but we'll see. Can we get around it? No swings, I'm guessing, from you. He draws a card. Down to 23. Okay, Scavenger Grounds. There's Cave. Alright, and then I think we'll throw away that. No attacks yet. Okay, so show me what you got, Dense Planet. New Neo Worm. I agree. I'd rather play against Toxic every other game than play against Heist decks. Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on that one. Yeah, the Heist mechanic was a horrible mistake in this, and I don't like it at all. But I would rather play against any other annoying deck that I've dealt with. You know, Azorius Control, or I don't know, like Stacks. I'd rather play against Stacks than play Heist. I mean, that was just terrible. Okay, hold on. Let's see. We'll do this way. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, what do you got, good sir? Because we are definitely going to be coming in. Now I'm going to get you. We're going to get you. Okay. Bring it in, Rev. Bring it in, Rev. Are we in the danger zone just yet? We'll see. Okay. No blocks. Cookie. I hate the Oculus deck, to be honest. The thing I hate the most is that. Oh, I haven't played against it that much, but I have seen it played. And it can be very annoying also. Because, it's just another one of those decks that you just generate value for just doing absolutely nothing. Don't get me wrong. This deck kind of also generates value too, but it generates value in a way where you don't feel it realistically. I guess I would say it doesn't feel like you're doing nothing. You kind of have to still build up to it. Okay, draw some cards. Okay, so with that, cast here. Ping our opponent. Take 2 Dense Planets. We're still in a pretty good spot with you. So we'll see. We shall see if we can get a way to catch up. Man. I mean, we blew out that first game, but you definitely come back for revenge this time around. Alright, so I guess I'll just take out that, I suppose. Okay, Gingerbread down. Neo Worm. Maybe you have an answer, but do you know why so many people play 200 plus card decks? It was surprising to see that when I started on Arena. You know, at some point I know some people have made that a goofy gimmick, but it's kind of an annoying one too. I mean, at some point I was going to do one of those as kind of like a joke video, but I think the reasoning behind that is either they're just playing it just because, or some people are playing 200 plus decks because I don't know if it's an Arena or not. I think there's a Battle of Wits combo in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Okay, so with that, is there any way out of this? Any way out of this? Okay, so let's see. Can we do this? Ping our opponents. They take 4. Okay. Well done, Splinit. Do you have an answer for Purphoros? Because you're down to 8. Okay. Finding a way to turn it around. Can we do it, though? You're going to need an answer ASAP. Eat alive. Wow. Yeah. Back to the field. Ouch. But we're still not dead yet. I can't block this. So it gets free damage. What did you steal this time? I wonder. Oh, he unlocked the demon. Okay. Alright, alright. So with that, let's see. We will... How do we do this? How do we do this? Okay. Scavenger grounds. Doing that. And then we'll play... Alright. Okay, and then from there... Wait for 2. Okay. I've seen the Wits combo decks, but just so many others are just playing every good card they can find. I feel like they just lose to mill and get scared or traumatized. Yeah, maybe that might be it. I mean, there was one time, however, I have milled... I didn't get it on video because I didn't think it was going to happen. I've milled a 200 card deck before, although it is extremely tough to do. But it is doable, although in a weird way. I mean, the only way you're able to get that off is you'd have to use that combo of the that one artifact and then Bruvac to kind of just mill out their whole game plan. I've seen that a couple times. It's a goofy gimmick. It's doable, but it's extremely tough to do. But I'm guessing that's probably what it is. A lot of people just sometimes like, you know what? I want to throw in every single one of my removal cards and just hope for the best. And sometimes you kind of lose to that, and it's kind of really awkward and annoying. But it does happen sometimes. It's been a while since I've seen it. Okay. Dead Splendid, swing it again. Did he beat us, though? I think that's the question here. Is there anything I can do? I guess I could sacrifice a token. I don't think I'm going to get anything to beat you, but I'll try. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, down to 2. And then your demon will beat us up here. Dang. Well, we tried. I did it with Turbo Fog deck once, and that was hilarious. Oh, that sounds super funny, though. All right. Well, Den Splendid, good job on that one. You actually managed to beat us there, so hey, I'll take that loss. No big deal. That's okay. Good game, though, my friend. Good game. Okay, so with that, that pretty much is going to be the final match for today, everybody. Again, one more time, I do apologize. I would love to, of course, continually keep streaming, but I got to take care of my other personal business. So thank you again for joining us today. However, as always, since you've all stuck around this far into the video, you're still watching at this point, you are all my true fiery friends. And because of that, we'll be more than happy to show you what we're going to be cooking up in a second. But before we do that, let me know in the comments now, what do you think of the deck overall? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? To be honest, I really like the deck and what it's trying to do. However, I do know now we are still in need to refine this a lot more. There are definitely some more cards I need to comb through in mono red that I think would make this deck even more stronger than it currently is. Maybe I might want to add in more Wraths. I think that might be a little bit better for us. I would have to tweak then the ratio of pingers versus Wraths and some spot removal. I realize we do have a decent amount of card draw for the deck, but because of how mono red doesn't have very good ramp, we're going to have to make those adjustments along the way. So cards that I would probably recommend if you do want to do this would be, let's see. I know Neoworm, you mentioned again Nykthos, and I think that was a miss on our part. We should have added that in. So for those of you that were curious, I would think Nykthos here would probably be a better option for you. So you could probably add in that. And then obviously other things that you might want to consider will be other cards that can help you just keep up your whole plan with the ramping and everything. Let's see, what else would I do? Maybe even Mines of Moria might be decent because you can make some treasure tokens, and we don't really care about the graveyard all that much, so that might be something to consider. Other cards that I might want to consider, maybe a Valakut Awakening if you do want to, again, kind of redo your hand here. We didn't put in Sundering Eruption. That might have been helpful as just, again, another decent card where you can use it as either a land or you can use it as a spell, depending on what you get. Let's see. Oh, Cookie. I got to go, but it was really a fun stream. Have a nice day, people, and you too, Infernoman. Burn bright. Okay, take care. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully, again, we'll see you again on the next stream. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again for joining us today, my fiery friend. And then let's see. I'm trying to think what else right now would be what we want to do. Also, I do want to mention if you are interested in this and maybe it's too expensive for you, I think the simplest answer for now to kind of cheapen the deck is just you're going to have to cut some of the stuff that you may not need necessarily, such as, again, most of the mana base, you probably could go down to a basic mana base of mountains, and that would make the deck way more cheaper. So I'll probably put together, maybe later today, a budget version of this if you are interested, or at least I'll try to make it as cheap as I can for those of you out there who maybe want to try building this, but then slowly build up to it. So in terms of other cards that maybe I would consider, again, it would probably mostly the Wraths. So if we're interested in Wraths, so let's see actually what we got. Let's see, other cards that you probably could look at. So Brotherhood's End, Anger of the Gods are decent, like mid-tier Wraths. Mizzium Mortars, I don't have enough wild cards anymore to craft some things, so that's why we couldn't have cards like Mizzium Mortars, but that's actually a pretty good one if you're looking at something for later on. Other cards that might help you out, so you also have cards like Sweltering Suns here. If you want to try to do combo stuff, you could do combo stuff with Transmogrify. Let's see. Burn Down the House is probably going to be the best Wrath, at least for this deck, because it'll stack up a ton of extra damage if we do have to pump it up. If you don't need the Wrath, you could just make a bunch of Devil tokens, so that also synergizes perfectly with the deck, so something to consider. Let's see. Oh, the red land card that lets you seek a card that might be nice. It's a cave or a gate. Oh, yes, that's right. That also could be good, too. In terms of other things, it really just kind of depends on, again, which way you want to take the deck. Brass's Bounty, if you do want to do a ton of ramping with treasures, that's fine too. Star of Extinction is also another pretty powerful Wrath for us. If you want to do that, that's also an option for you. In terms of then maybe ways of getting around the Wrath, but also wanting to put in other stuff. Other things I would recommend for you, maybe a couple other select creatures that can take damage and throw it back. So let's see, there was a Goblin that does that too. So, oh yeah, Brash Taunters. So if you're a little bit more Wrath heavy and you don't care about keeping your tokens alive, Brash Taunters is also pretty solid for you. Boneheart Dracosaur also is good for making tokens and also making treasure, so I think this would be also a solid upgrade as well. If you want to be a dirty player, you could also try Fury as well. I don't like the card personally, but it actually is very good for you if you do want to give that a try. You could put in New Purphoros, although he doesn't really do too much, at least for our deck, because you want to try to cheat in big creatures with New Purphoros. So that's going to be up to you if you want to keep the flavor. Totally your call on that one. Or you could go maybe with dragons, with like Glorybringer and stuff. Cavalier of Flames also can be good for you for pumping up stuff. There's definitely a lot of different routes you could take of this. You could go back to the Goblin plan we originally had. Cards like Sieging Commander are really good for you. But again, it really just depends on what route and what way you want to take the deck. Personally, I think the token plan works perfectly fine. You saw it worked very well today. If you want to add in some more burn spells, totally your call. But again, your mileage varies depending on what your budget is and what you do want to do with the deck. But I think that's pretty much all I can leave you with on that end. Now, wrapping this up here, and just before we go, oh yes, Fury and the Screaming Nemesis against life gain is great. Just hit for 1 and remove the life gain. So yeah, that actually is a pretty gnarly combo if you can get that one off. I think that one actually would be pretty sweet for this deck. Okay, so before I end it completely, because I do need to leave in a moment here, let's show you again, what is the future for our content? So I actually already have finished recorded. Draw to Death here. This will be our next big deck tech with some gameplay, commentary, and everything. That'll be next week. So hopefully you're all looking forward to that one. We have some sweet options for this that were added in thanks to Pioneer Masters. Our next in the Basically series, we've already begun now playing the 4-color, super budget, no rares, no mythics decks. So the next one is going to be basically caves. This is actually a really spicy build, and it actually works really, really well, all things considered, despite the clunky mana base, but it does work. So I assure you that one's going to be the next one after that. Basically, Phyrexia is going to be also another 4-color one. I have to figure out still the ratio. This one's still a little clunky, but I'm going to get there with this one. I still haven't decided yet on the remaining 2 4-color decks, but we're definitely going to be building those very soon. Oh, and I did forget to mention this, but now that we're at the halfway point of the month, I'm going to mention it right now. In a couple weeks, I will be also on vacation, so I will be out of the area for a little while. Don't not worry. I will try to make at least a couple of videos that will go out throughout that week, but the end of January, we're going to be a little light on content, and there won't be streaming at least for most of the week. I might squeeze in a stream either at the beginning of the week or the end of the week, depending on how things go. So just FYI for all of you, in case you might wonder like where things are going. And of course, I also have challenged myself to see if we can put together a burn deck in Timeless that doesn't use any rares or mythics, just for the novelty, to see if you actually can play in the most powerful format without having to spend a ton of money. So that's also coming down the pipeline too. And of course, next week we will be talking about some of the spoilers that we're going to get from Ether Drift. I'm super jazzed about that one. Hopefully we'll get to make some fun vehicle decks in February. I look forward to all that with you. But otherwise, that's basically it, everybody. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks again one more time for everyone that did join me, wherever you are watching the content. So real quick shout out to everybody that has been watching. I know some of you have been watching, from example, Instagram. Yes, I do see the chat on Instagram. Magic Cards MTG, thanks again for being there. Perkele, Rakdos Lord of Riots Torres, and MT Winaltz. Sorry, I kind of butchered that, but you're all there. I appreciate you guys for being there. Those of you that were here today in the chat, Neil Worm, thanks again. Den Splendid, always a fiery friend of mine. Cookie, I know you're not there anymore. Thanks again for joining us from earlier. And then some of the other ones that I know saw, I do apologize if I didn't get your names down, but I know some of you have been joining us in the chats. So thanks again for that, even if you're just lurking. And of course, shout outs to those of you who are watching from X, on Kick, YouTube, wherever you are. Thanks again. We'll try to get another stream maybe later this week, depending on how time persists. But otherwise, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And I really do hope we will get a chance to do this again in the future. But as I always say, just no matter what you do in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again next week, everybody. Later.